Let me welcome onto the field of 68 Oregon head coach Dana Altman. Dana, it is the last Pac-12 Media Day. Is this something that's going to register in your memory forever? This Pac-12 Media Day,
He's the godfather
with us, field
right?
of 68.
Well, I have been around the longest.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You're isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So, part of me is really sad to see it go. Yeah. I've loved the league. At times, we've caught crap because we haven't been as good as we need to be. But, I think the league's prepared us well. We've had 5 Sweet 16s, a couple Elite Eights, a Final Four. So the league's been good for us, preparing for March. So the travel's always good. Not a lot of weather days on the West Coast, so you can get in and out. So I'm sad to see that go, but excited. The Big Ten, a lot of new challenges. Exciting to get some new rivalries. A little concerned about the travel, but it's exciting at the same time. Sad to see the Pac-12 go, but excited for the future.
So Oregon State is not heading with you guys. Is that losing that rivalry? I think that's one of the things that's worst about the conference realignment is you lose those kind of local in-state. Like that's people in Oregon love that rivalry.
Absolutely. We're 45 miles apart, and Wayne's a great guy. We're going to play.
Yeah.
I've talked with Wayne.
Every year you're going to try to play?
Yeah, we're going to play one game a year.
Good.
We're dependent on the Gavitt games if we're involved in that, because I can't get too many road games. But if we're at home,
need a few of those bye games too to fit in.
If we're at home with a Gavitt game, then I'd go to Oregon State and vice versa. And so, but no, we're going to play Oregon State. It's good for basketball in Oregon. It's good for both schools. So, Wayne and I are on board with it. If the higher ups don't cancel it,
exactly.
We'll play. But and I'd like to continue playing teams on the West Coast because, we're going to have to make so many trips, for the Big Ten season. My non-conference, I don't want to be traveling a lot in November and December, and my MTEs, I'd rather do on the West Coast. Atlantis is so good, and B. Miller does such a good job. But traveling all the way down there, and with all the trips we have, and if we have to go on the road for the Gavitt game, that's another one. We just got to be a little concerned about our travel, and so playing former Pac-12 schools in November and December, I'd love to do. And I think Arizona, Utah, some of those schools would have the same concerns because, West Virginia, Central Florida, some of their games are a long way too. Right. So, non-conference wise, I'd sure like to play some of the, and I think our fans would love it too.
Yeah.
Because those are,
they know the schools.
Yeah. And they're long rivalries,
Right.
Stanford, Cal,
Yep.
Again, us playing Oregon State, one of the oldest, most played games in the country. So I'd like to keep as many of the West Coast games as we can.
What's the mood been like here among the coaches? Is it kind of just strange in a way today?
A little different.
Yeah.
We traditionally have meetings in the morning.
No meeting. That's right. No reason for a meeting.
We traditionally get together and have a meeting before media day and talk about the future. And we didn't have that this morning. And so it's different. You're always looking at building the league and the conference and those meetings. What can we do to make the league better and the conference better? And so you're not looking at those things anymore. And so it is different. It is different. Knowing that we're not going to be playing those schools, 2 or 3 times a year. It's exciting for this year because I think there be some emotional games. The last time you might play somebody for a while, but it is what it is. And I think when UCLA and USC left a year ago, or it was kind of set in stone that something might happen. This is all football driven. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
And when those two, and then we lost LA, as a TV market, things change pretty quickly.
Let's talk about N'Faly Dante. I think that last year he kind of showed everybody why he was the player that he was coming out of high school. What have you seen from him this offseason? What has his development been like? What are we going to see out of him this year?
Well, Dante's had a tough road. He got to Oregon December after his year and had tendonitis really bad. The next year he tears his ACL. And coming back from an ACL for 6'11", 250 pounder is a little different than coming back, if you're 6'2", 180 pounds. It takes a while. And it takes a while to get that confidence back in that knee. And so, it's been tough on him. But, you gain an appreciation as a coach for somebody who fights it like that. Is in the training room every day, in the rehab every day, in the weight room extra every day. And he's done a tremendous job fighting to get back. And last year he had a good year. He was, 13 and almost 9 rebounds a game, and he got double teamed every time he caught it. He averaged, 13 and 9, getting double teamed, and shot 60%. So if we'd have shot it from the perimeter at all, he'd have got a lot more looks and scored a lot more points. So he's worked awfully hard. And if he stays healthy, he's going to have a tremendous year. I think we've got better shooters around him. The 4 guys, we've got 5 guys back. The other 4 guys can all shoot it. They were all out last year for 10, 12, 16 games. None of them, played the whole season. And I think, when you play a few games and then you're out for 12 games and then you just never get that rhythm as a shooter. I think Jermaine Kusnard's a better shooter than what he showed, but he didn't start playing until January. Keyshawn's a better shooter than what he showed, but he played 3 games. Torres plantar fasciitis, missed 12 games. Nate Biddle was out 10 games. Brennan Rigsby missed 18. I think those guys are better shooters than what they showed a year ago, and they're going to have to shoot it better for us. The new guys coming in, you expect them to be okay from 3, but experience. Yeah. It's the key word with the COVID still with us for another year. Experience is so important, and those 4 guys coming back have got to shoot it better for us.
That's where you have a great blend, right? I mean, everybody's going to talk about your freshman class, and it's talented, right? 3 highly regarded guys, but you're not relying on them this year, right? I mean, they could all come off the bench.
And that's a good situation to be in, and that's what we talked to him about when we recruited him. Peyton Pritchard, his freshman year, we didn't rely on him. Brooks, Bell, Boucher, Dylan Ennis, we had other guys, Tyler Dorsey, he could come in and play and be part of a good team. And, I'm hoping Jackson Shelsta, KJ Evans, Mookie, when he gets healthy, can do the same thing, be part of an experienced team and not I just don't think in the next couple of years yet until COVID's over that you can have a team that you just rely on freshmen to carry the load.
Yeah.
You look at the teams in the Final Four, even in the Sweet 16 the last few years, they've all been old. And so, I'm hoping our old guys play well and those freshmen, we can blend them in. But they are talented. Jackson's really quick. I've been watching him since he was in junior high. Mookie, since he was in junior high. They're both Portland guys. And then KJ, we got on fairly early, and I just like his skill level. He's been really well coached at Mount Bird, So I like those 3 guys, and hopefully we can bring them along at a pace that helps them.
You got to get back. We're used to having you towards the top of the league here, and it's kind of weird not seeing Oregon there fighting with Arizona and UCLA.
Oh, absolutely. No,
and you made no excuse. Listen, you and I have talked, and the thing I love about you do not make any excuses. But I'm sure you want to get back here.
No, we just haven't got it done.
Yeah.
And 21, it wasn't that long ago. We won the league in 20 and 21.
It feels like, I'm sure for you, it feels like forever ago.
19 and 21, we're in the Sweet 16.
Right.
So, but we've had 2 years where we're just in the NIT. And that's not our standard. That's not our goal. That's not anybody's standard or goal. So we'd like to get back. But to do that, we're going to have to stay healthy, and the guys are going to have to be unselfish and all about the team. And if we do, we can get back. And our guys want that, and they're working toward that. We just need to catch a break, need to stay healthy, and
when I saw
have
him
Big Don
when I saw him
stay
at
healthy.
PK80 last year, go out to Portland, and I thought Dana was going to roll himself out as a guard because he had nobody. When you have one guard,
we got down to 6
right?
guys. Yeah, we did. We
had one guard.
Will Richardson.
Yeah, that was it.
Brendan was out. Keyshawn was out.
It's
Jermaine was out. Just one of those things.
Yeah.
We'd been fortunate for a long time.
Yeah.
Not really getting a lot of guys hurt, and it caught up with us.
You mentioned Will Richardson. He's gone.
Finally, it feels like he's been there 8 years.
Been there a long
right?
time. You got Keyshawn and Jermaine stepping into the backcourt role. You're bringing in Kerry Oquindo from Georgia. How do you see yourself filling that point guard? I mean, what was it? 13 points, 5 assists out of Will Richardson?
Yeah, no. Will and Will played through injuries last year. I was a little upset with our fan base getting on him. They didn't know what Will was fighting. Okay, herniated disc. I mean, he fought to stay in. And he could have taken and just sat the year out, but he fought it all year. So, Will's got a special place because he fought those injuries too, and did it for the team and because he wanted to play. We're going to be different. We've got Keyshawn and Jackson that are quicker than what we've had. So I think our pace can be a little bit better. I think they need to pressure the ball a little bit more than we have in the past. And then Jermaine and Jesse can both give us some point minutes. Brennan Rigsby, Bam Tracy, a junior college player from Southwest Florida. So I think we've got really good depth there. We're not as long as we traditionally have been. We've had big wings with Duarte and LJ Figueroa, Dylan Brooks. We've had longer wings than we have. So I think we're going to have to play a little quicker. I don't know if our zone will be quite as effective with, not having the big guards and the big wings. So we may have to play differently, both offensively and defensively. But, I do think our depth is good. And if all those guys will be unselfish, play a role, do what the team needs, I think we have a chance to get back, and have a chance to be really good if everything clicks.
My last question for you. All right. Did you ever see Dylan the Villain, Dylan Brooks? I think he's proclaimed himself Dylan the Villain. Did you ever see this coming from Dylan Brooks in the NBA, where he would be this guy that, like take on this type of personality?
Well, he loves it. I've talked to him a bunch over the last 6 months, and he loves it.
He really does.
Oh no, he's embraced it. It doesn't bother him at all.
You can tell he's embraced it, but man.
No,
he wasn't like this at Oregon.
No, he was really competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most competitive guys I've been fortunate enough to work with. All right. So, his first year we go 32. His second year we go the Elite Eight. The next year we go the Final Four. He was Player of the Year as a junior. His competitiveness. Jordan Bell was really competitive. Boucher was competitive. We just had a competitive group, and but Dylan, was fun to work with because he was always in the gym. He loved the game. Dylan loves the game. All right. He loves to play. And guys like that, I'm not a yeller and a screamer. I don't curse and that, so I just want guys that love to play. And Dylan was one of those guys. So
you didn't have to get on him that much.
Never.
Right.
No, I mean, we had a lot of talks about controlling his temper, he was, in his first year, he got a few technicals and I benched him. I took him out of the starting lineup and came to me a couple of days later, oh, Coach, I'll be good. And then he didn't get a technical the rest of the year. So no, I loved his competitiveness. You try to find that one thing you can latch onto a player, and he is so competitive. And that's what, nobody anticipated he'd be in the NBA.
No.
Okay. So
he was a mid-major recruit.
He gets out of Finley Prep, and, he didn't get to play because Kelly Oubre was ahead of him. He didn't even get to play, and nobody was after him. We didn't have to beat anybody out, but he came and worked his tail off, and, now he signs for 4 years, $86 million, and he's doing all right. And
so what were your talks to him Are they, I mean, obviously you want to see the best for him now. What are those talks?
I just talked to him. This isn't confidential because I mean,
sure,
his numbers went down a little bit offensively,
yeah.
and I did, don't let
that
this
keep falling off,
because you're worried about other things. Get refocused. And he doesn't have to listen to me,
right.
But we just talk. I put another thought, and Coach, I got it under control. I know what I'm doing, and hell, he's making a hell of a lot more money.
I was going to say,
what am I going to tell him? But
can't coach him anymore.
But I love the kid.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to defend him because you find a guy. Houston knows how hard he'll compete.
Oh,
okay, they know. He's got his ups and downs, but you want a competitor.
Teams need that.
No one's ever questioned that.
Right. Teams need that.
And an 82-game schedule and
he
what
brings it.
Yeah, I mean, he loves the game.
Something to be said for that.
No. Right? I mean, we didn't win all those games because anything we were doing, that was his competitiveness. And Peyton Pritchard's a hell of a competitor. Those guys.
Another one who got paid.
They make the league because they're competitive.
Yeah.
And
you've done it. Listen, you've done a hell of a job evaluating, developing some of these guys.
Well, I appreciate that. And we've been fortunate. Guys that love ball.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do well with. If they don't love ball, they're probably not going to last with you.
Not in our home because, like I said, I don't drive them. I don't scream and yell at them. That's not 44 season. That's not where. And the guys who have been lucky that I've been lucky enough to work with and have been successful, I had to kick them out of the gym. Yeah. I never have to beg them to go to the gym. Yeah. I had to kick them out because they were in there too much and we're getting ready for a game. I save your legs now. Let's get ready to go. And so, but I think we got some of those guys, and now we just got to keep them healthy.